Welcome to Amazing Women Innovators. Today we will learn about some brilliant innovators who happen to be women. We will discuss the need for their contribution and the actions they took in order to make our world better by their inventions. The month of March is recognized as Women's History Month. During this month, we focus on and pay homage to the women in our country who helped to shape our nation as we know it. We honor their strength, courage, intelligence, and the creativity they exhibited throughout the years past and even today. Could you imagine a world without windshield wipers? Well, believe it or not, automobiles did not always have them. Things were quite difficult without windshield wipers during the rainy and snowy days. One day while visiting New York City, Mary Anderson was riding in a motor car during a very snowy day. The driver of the car kept having to stop and get out and wipe the snow from the windshield so that he could see where he was going when he was driving. Right then and there, Mary thought to herself, there should be some type of blade that could do the wiping for the driver. Shortly thereafter, Mary went back home and drew a sketch and wrote a description of her idea. Then Mary applied for a patent for her invention. There is a picture of Mary Anderson. Mary Anderson was born in Greene County, Alabama in 1866. In 1889, she moved to Birmingham, Alabama with her widowed mother and her sister. She was a real estate developer there in Birmingham, Alabama. Mary Anderson applied for and was awarded a patent for a swinging arm with a rubber blade in 1903. The device had a lever that could be operated by the driver while inside the car. Many devices were made before Mary Anderson's invention, but hers was the first that actually worked. Because Mary's invention was a bit ahead of its time, many people laughed and scoffed at the idea of a windshield wiper because not many cars were invented and on the road for driving yet. Mary was never able to sell her patent for capital gain. Perhaps it was because she was so independent. Mary had no living father, no sons, and no husband in her life. And at the time, she was living in a widely male-dominated society. Despite that, we are grateful for Mary's contribution to our world by inventing the windshield wiper. Did you know that Hedy Lamarr was not only an innovator, but also a Hollywood star? Yes, that's right. Hedy Lamarr was called the most beautiful woman in the world. During her time, she was considered the Angelina Jolie of her day. She was known in the 1930s and 40s for her talented acting, performances, and pretty face. Could you just imagine life without Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, and cell phones? Hedy Lamarr's invention set the stage for some of our most important inventions, including Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, and cell phones. Hedy Lamarr's interest in inventing began at age 5, when she dismantled a music box and reassembled it. As an inventor, she worked with a partner, a composer named George Antheil. Her invention was created during the early years of World War II. Her partner, Antheil, confirmed that Hedy Lamarr's design was used to create a more practical model. The invention found a way for the radio guidance transmitter and the torpedo's receiver to jump simultaneously from frequency to frequency, making it impossible for the enemy to locate and block a message before it had moved to another frequency. This approach became known as frequency hopping. When Hedy Lamarr and Antheil presented their invention to the U.S. Navy, the engineers rejected it, saying that it was too cumbersome. Lamarr and Antheil also created a sonobuoy, which could be dropped into the water from an airplane to detect submarines. Although Lamarr's patent on the sonobuoy didn't expire until 1959, she and her partner Antheil were never compensated for their invention. Nevertheless, their invention became a springboard for bigger ideas. In 1997, Hedy's work received recognition when she was honored with the Pioneer Award of the Electronic Frontier Foundation. She nor her partner ever received compensation for their patented inventions. Nonetheless, today's frequency hopping alone is estimated to be worth $30 billion. Aren't you glad that we have professionals who can help us with our eye health? Did you know that one of our best eye doctors was an innovator? Dr. Patricia Bath was an ophthalmologist who took dedicated interest in curing preventable blindness in underserved populations, and along the way became the first African American female doctor to receive a medical patent. Born in Harlem, New York, Bath developed an interest in science early in her life. She attended medical school at Howard University and completed a fellowship in ophthalmology at Columbia University. While doing her internships, Dr. Bath noticed the discrepancies in vision problems between the predominantly Black patient population in Harlem and the largely white population at Columbia. She documented that blindness was twice as prevalent among Black people as among white people. That knowledge instilled in her a lifelong commitment to delivering high-quality eye care to those who might not otherwise have access to it. In 1981, Bath invented the surgical tool that made her famous, the laser phaco probe, which she continued to perfect and later patented in 1988. This tool was used during the eye surgery to correct cataracts, which is an eye condition that clouds vision and can lead to blindness. Bath's laser tool was more precise and less risky than previous devices. The device that she invented has been used around the world. Dr. Patricia Bath was a trailblazer who paved the way for many women inventors and scientists to come after her. She was the first African American to complete a residency in ophthalmology, the first woman to chair an ophthalmology residency program in the United States, and the first African American female doctor to secure a medical patent. She also co-founded the American Institute for the Prevention of Blindness. Here are some book titles about these women inventors that we have learned today. Please feel free to check these books out from your Gwinnett County Public Library. Thank you for watching and have a great day.